Hello, Adam again. um, it's kind of fun making YouTube videos, and yes, I'm drinking a Capri Sun because I have kids and I'm thirsty. So, this video, this one is, I'm going to try to explain that to a new hunter. Yes, I know a lot of us use YouTube because I use YouTube a lot, and I know a lot of people that use YouTube. Um, and I guess, I don't know, I guess I kind of want to say that this channel, I just felt like, I don't know, something told me to just make a channel like I've wanted to for a long time to help new hunters out, right? So there's a lot of information out there um, that can help you learn, a lot of different things on how to hunt, like if you're hunting bear or elk or deer or cougar or turkey or whatever you're hunting, grouse. I mean, there's a video out there for everything. I wrote some of them down, just to give you guys, a new hunter, some channels to look at. One of them's Living Outdoors PNW, Pacific Northwest, where I live. And this guy's, I don't know how you say if that's his last name or what. I think it's Demua, DMOUA Outdoors. I believe he's in Washington State also. He has a really good channel. I've learned a lot from both of those channels. I watch Ted Nugent videos, old Ted Nugent videos, old Jim Shockey videos, Tim Wells, Meat Eater, Cliff Gray. I love listening to Cliff Gray. Like, his videos are extremely long sometimes, but I don't care because I'm used to listening to like long form podcasts all day long because that's how I get through my day. I put an earpiece in at work and I listen to all sorts of podcasts, not just hunting, but you know what I mean. I listen to Sean Ryan and Joe Rogan. I listen to a lot of that kind of stuff. Long form podcasts, like 3-4 hours long. So these videos, my point is, of these hunting videos, they don't even bug me when they're 45 minutes long, an hour long. Randy Newberg's another one that I really like to listen to. The Primos videos, if you're listening to this and you're getting into hunting, Primos, however you say it, they make calls for hunting and probably a bunch of other stuff, but as far as I know, it's just calls and maybe scents or something. I can't remember. Their videos are really helpful. They're small. They're usually short videos. I watch all those channels, especially during hunting season, because every day when I come back, and I haven't got a buck yet, I'm listening, or elk if I'm elk hunting, whatever. I'm just listening, you know. This other channel with this lady, Pursue the Wild with Christy Titus. She's got some amazing videos and how-tos on like elk calling. And anyway, my point is, to a new hunter, like, it's all in how you word the search of what you're looking for. Like, if I'm specifically, if you're brand new to hunting and you really want to get into this, like, there is literally a video for everything you can think of. There's a video for boots, guns, freaking bullets. I I will search things like on YouTube, and I'll just type it out and I'll be like, big buck strategy, or elk calling strategy, you know, buck grunt videos, stalking animals or deer videos or whatever, or I'll get really specific, like Washington whitetail hunting or Washington mule deer hunting, or Washington blacktail hunting. I'll just get really specific, like for the area, or I'll look up like Montana videos and Texas hunting videos. I'll watch, southern hunting videos. I don't ever really search East Coast because I guess I never really thought about that. But I'll look up like Wisconsin deer hunting videos. Oh, that urban channel too, with the guy that shoots the urban bucks like in real little small plots of land or whatever in the city or wherever, and he like gets permission to go all over. Those are awesome too, and I think it's called Seek One. I haven't watched his videos in a long time, but I really do like those too because he's just so freaking pumped up about it. It's cool to watch, and all of his buddies too. Uh, but yeah, I really like a lot of those videos. They're super helpful. So if you're new to hunting though, the big thing is you just like for me when I started, I am lucky because I knew people that hunted. Like one of my best friends that I grew up with, he just to keep it real, like a lot of his friends and myself included, we were crazy and doing crazy things, and we were young and dumb. And my one friend in particular, uh, man, I remember it like it was yesterday. He just kind of walked away from all those crazy drunken nights and drugs and all that stuff, and he just kind of hit the woods and just started hunting and fishing, and that was like his church. He just kind of walked away from it all and got real heavy into it, and he just kind of never looked back, and I'm really proud of him for that. And I was out there for years and years after that, not living good. And anyway, when I was ready to finally start hunting, um, I think I was 30, 29, 30. Uh, he kind of helped me along the way and coached me along the way. And I got really lucky too because I moved and started working with a new guy that was my journeyman at my company, and he was crazy into hunting, and he's a guide. He's a hunting guide for a real like legit company, and uh I don't know if he actually guides and stuff, but he's on their list of guides because he got the guy that started the guiding business and the building custom long range rifle business. Like he's the one that got that guy into hunting. So that guy I think is just kind of paying homage to him for getting him into hunting when they were teens, because he kind of created a monster. So my point is, my old boss, man, he was like a godsend because he just, would tell me so much stories about hunting, man. I would ask him so much stuff, and I've always been like that, I guess. I just ask a lot of questions and love to hear the stories about, what was the craziest hunt, or what was the biggest buck, or the one that means the most to you, or, I just love hearing all those hunting stories. But this guy, my old boss, man, I'm still friends with him to this day, and he's just a beast. Like he goes to Alaska like every year. He moose hunts. He's killed so many deer he don't even know. In his life, he's traveled around a lot and hunted, and he's just one of them guys that just makes it look easy. It's like he'll go out for 5 minutes and come back with a giant freaking 5 point or something crazy, you know. Um, he just always seems to he's a really good hunter. It's not that he's lucky, he's a really good hunter. So, I've asked him a lot of questions too, and I have a few of my cousins, their husbands are hunters, and, I learn from each one of them. I ask them questions. I watch their drive. one of my cousin's husbands, he is just the gnarliest dude. Like I think he's got like 14 or 15 cows in his life and a couple bulls, and he just, for instance, his advice to me about elk hunting when I asked him, and I still haven't got an elk, and that's fine. I'm gonna keep going until I do. It's on my list. I'm not gonna give up until I do it, and I still won't give up after that. But anyway, my point is his advice was to find the deepest, darkest hole on that public land and go there, and that's how he hunts those places that he always goes for elk. He took his daughter out she got drawn for something like a special unit because she was a youth, and they got her elk. She shot her elk, I think, on the second day with her dad, the guy I'm talking about. And it just, he just knows, he's a smart hunter too. He grew up hunting, and I just ask him a lot of questions. Like I said, you got to just, oh wow, it's already at 11 minutes and 30 seconds. If you want to hunt, you just got to not only watch videos for being a new hunter, not just watch videos, not just read magazines. I read magazines too. I read the stories in the hunting magazines, not because I'm like freaking out, like, oh, gotta think about hunting all the time. I'll read them because it's interesting to me to know what it took to get that caliber of an animal, or that, that size, that mature of an animal, or it's interesting to know where it was taken, what the month was, what were the circumstances, what day was it in the season, was it on the very last day, last 5 minutes of daylight, was it the first day, the first 5 minutes of daylight, was it just like a freak thing that just, you know what I mean? Sometimes there's those lucky stories, and sometimes there's those crazy strategy stories, and I even watched a video on a guy, can't remember his name, but he was an older guy. I'd say probably 55 to 65 years old, and the guy was legit. It was talking, the video was about tracking bucks, big bucks, and his strategy was I think he liked to hunt the snow, he said. He'd hunt big whitetails in the snow, he'd find their tracks, and then he'd just follow them until he found that buck, and he'd shoot it. And that was just like, dang, dude. That's a pretty awesome way to go about it, and it's just, yeah, if you want to, if you're new and you want to hunt, you don't need a lot of money. Like a lot of, the world can make you feel like you ain't got enough money to do something. But I just want to say, like, that's not true. It doesn't matter what gun you have, as long as the thing will shoot and it's on, and you can sight it in and it's gonna hold where you put it. You can get like a freaking complete scope rifle. Well, you could at Walmart years ago. I don't know if they sell them there anymore, but I mean, literally, if you look for a deal, you can get a scoped rifle, probably a 30-06 or a 270 or something like that. I don't know, 243 maybe, or a 308 or something, for right around like 300 to maybe 450 bucks. That's not that much. If you take care of it, it'll last you probably your whole lifetime. Like, I take care of my guns. I mean, they're dirty right now, but I do take care of them. I wipe them down, I'll go through all my stuff and wipe everything down and clean everything and clean the guns and wipe all my lenses off on everything and reorganize and get ready to go back out again and do all that stuff. But what I'm saying is you don't need a lot of all this money. You know what I mean? And you don't have to, you got YouTube, so you don't have to. You got YouTube, you got friends, you got family, and you got people that you'll just meet along the way in your life. But utilize all those people in every little bit you can, and you actually have an advantage because now all these videos and stuff on YouTube, if you think about it, probably 30, 40 years ago, these were all like expensive, like DVDs that were only, probably an hour and a half long, like a movie. And you had to learn from those. And now it's free. It's on YouTube and it's free. So it's like you should take advantage of every one of those that you can. And like I said, man, this is already 16 minutes long. Hold up. So my point is, there's so much to learn, even I just started archery. I mean, whatever. I picked up a bow for the first time last year ever and almost got an elk, actually, really, really close. I called one in, two in that day, actually, and he got me. He came in way faster than I thought, and I couldn't make it to the spot that I wanted to get to turn around and wait for him to come to where I called from, and I blew it. But I really don't care because I learned a lot. Like, I had to watch like 50 videos just to get up the nerve to even make the call with the bugle and try it. And feel like I wasn't going to screw it up or feel like it would even work, and darn it, can't remember. I lost my train of thought. Anyway, my point is, there's videos for everything, literally everything. Using a buck grunt, using a elk call, like a cow call, a bugle, a freaking, their patterns. You can look up videos on deer patterns, elk patterns. You can look, oh, that's what I was talking about, the bow. So I had to watch like shoot, I probably watched, I don't know, 100 videos on archery tree stand hunts. And man, I learned so much just from watching the guys and the women standing in the tree or sitting in the tree stand and just watching like them with their camera, or somebody would be filming them or they had a camera, but usually the ones where the person was filming them, I could see the deer, and when it would look at the person, and I could see that they were waiting, and then they could move at certain times. And anyway, my whole point is, I went from not knowing anything about using a bow to shooting a bow to being in a tree stand with a bow. And I had one day last year, I was elk hunting out of a tree stand, and I kept having deer come under my tree stand. So I would just practice, even though I wasn't going to shoot it, I would practice pulling back all the way and looking at that deer without it seeing me, and then bringing it back and just setting it back down in my lap. I went from not knowing anything about anything to being in a tree stand, being able to practice, pulling back on a deer and setting it back down in my lap without it being spooked and taken off. And I didn't even think that was possible. It was I would say, was that my second year? It might have been my second year doing tree stand hunting. I didn't get anything the first year. I did last year. I got a buck in the late season. But um, my whole point is you can take yourself from not realizing what's going on, and how to go about finding bigger bucks, or you can take yourself to another level just by watching these videos. That's what I'm saying. For spending, I don't know, even if you spent a half hour a day at work or something, just listening to a hunting podcast and listening to these guys talk about hunts, you can figure out a lot, and it's not as far off, you know, to be better at hunting than you realize. And this is like I'm just speaking to brand new people in hunting that want to get into hunting, because I'm telling you, when you start doing it, it'll change your life. It is so exciting. It's seriously freaking exciting. Like, I mean, I don't know if I've drank, I've done drugs, I've been crazy and wild when I was young, and nothing, besides being a husband and having kids and being in recovery and coming to know Christ, nothing has compared in my eyes uh, to what hunting and fishing offer you. It's just like the best clean fun there is, in my opinion. It's just like, yeah, it'll change your life. So that's all I'm saying is, yeah, and I'm never gonna ask you to like or subscribe to my channel. That's not what this is about. I'm fine. If it happens, cool. If people want to ever even take the time to watch a video, if you're a new hunter, if you want to like and subscribe to the channel, that's fine with me. I don't care. Um, and but I'm not asking you to do that. I don't care. I own a plumbing company. I'm blessed. I have, more than money. And money is whatever. It's just a tool. It comes and it goes, and I don't care about getting paid from YouTube. Um, I never will. If it happens, great. Probably not going to happen to this guy. I'm a hard learner, and anyway, I won't get into all that. But yeah, so if you're looking, if you're brand new into hunting, you're looking for some channels. I named off, I don't know, probably 10, 15 channels there, and that's just some of the big names that I know from looking up stuff that I like to listen to. But I'm not even mentioning, I can't remember all the freaking hundreds of probably just, these guys don't have channels, they just make videos, and I'll probably never run across them again. And you got to kind of use your discernment, and sometimes I'll look up a video, right, and I'll realize quickly, like, okay, this guy's way above my level of understanding. Like, he's on another level with hunting. This guy's like brilliant, right? Or this woman's just like ridiculously good at hunting, and they're just super confident. They have all, you can gauge really quick, like, is this video above my pay grade? Okay, that's fine, but you can still eat the meat, spit out the bones. You don't have to, take what you need, leave the rest. It's an old saying. You don't have to take it all in. You just take what you need, leave the rest, and you're gonna pick up little bits and pieces off of each video. And yeah, and that's my advice. Just eat the meat, spit out the bones, and start there. And I guarantee you, if you start looking up some of these channels, and a month or two before hunting season comes along, and you start getting your mind focused on when it's going down, when that day comes. You know, it's, for us in Washington, it's on a Saturday. Uh, Opening day is Saturday. Maybe it's like that everywhere. I don't know. But, you know, like I was just saying, well, I don't know if I did tell anyone this yet, but I've lived in Alaska twice. And my grandpa lived there for like 30 years. And he hunted his whole entire life since he was a little kid. And I lived with him, and he was taking off and going to Prince of Wales Island and shooting deer. And um, he was, dude, he hunted everywhere. He's hunted all over the place. And my whole point is, I had a grandpa that hunted like crazy my whole entire life, and I've only went out with them, you know, a handful of times in my life. And looking back, I wish I would have went more. Um, but you know, it's never too late to start hunting if you want to get into it. That's my point. Is, I mean, I lived in Alaska, and I didn't even hunt twice. Um, so yeah, I did fish. I did fish a lot actually, but I never hunted in Alaska. And looking back, it's like, oh, it's just I was in paradise and didn't even know it because I was young. And um, anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video, and it's long. It's 26 minutes long. But yeah, any new people to hunting, you know. Oh, before I end this video too, I knew what I was going to say earlier. So, you don't have to have a lot of money. Like I was saying, my first pair of binoculars, I think they were like $200 and something, and I got them on sale for like $160. And they're like some Redfield, black and red ones. But honestly, I love those binoculars. They're only little 10 by 42s, and they were cheap, but they were super clear. And I used them for 5, 6 years, maybe, I don't know, up until last year. I might have used them for 7 years. I don't remember, but my point is, you don't have to have, you know, $1,000,000 to get in the game and start. I mean, I bought those Redfields, and what I would do is if I was 300 yards or closer, I'd use them, and I could see really good with them. But anything beyond that, I could see them with the binoculars and see what's out there and go, okay, there's deer, and then whip out the spotting scope, and boom, now I'm right there looking at them, you know. So it wasn't a big deal. But yeah, you got to work with what you got. And if you don't know anything yet about hunting, then, you know, like I said, it's never too late. And sorry, I've never done videos in my life on YouTube. The famous, just never done YouTube videos. None of this is rehearsed, obviously. I did write down some channels on a piece of paper that I like. That's it. But everything else, you know, I just kind of you know, shoot it from the heart or whatever. But yeah, I hope this helps somebody.